Some people have been using this failed operation to justify the assault weapons ban being brought back.
This is Brian Calle for CalWatchdog.com, and today I caught up with Congressman Darrell Issa discussing Fast and Furious.
Well, Fast and Furious was an operation that was carried out in the southwest United States in the Arizona area, in which the Justice Department and the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms part of Justice knowingly let more than 2,000 weapons, assault rifles, pistols, and even 50 caliber sniper rifles get into the hands of the drug cartels in some sort of a poorly thought out idea that they were going to trace them, except they didn't follow the guns. They waited for them to show up on the streets in Mexico after they'd been used in gun violence. And of course, as you can imagine, more of them kill without ever being captured, and some of them didn't go to Mexico, and that's how Brian Terry was killed here in the United States.
Congressman, you've made national and international headlines on Fast and Furious. What's the latest update?
Well, during today's speech here in Orange County, we were negotiating with the Justice Department, hoping to get compliance, and we'll continue negotiating right up until a contempt vote, if necessary, to try to get Eric Holder and his people to realize that the American people have a right to know how they were lied to, but more importantly, Brian Terry and his family have a real right to know who was responsible for him being gunned down in the streets in Tucson, Arizona.
Now, Attorney General Holder is kind of trying to derail the situation by offering a meeting with you. I guess this coming Monday, are you going to accept that meeting? Is that meeting going to happen?
Well, today's meeting on Thursday was all about, could we come to some discovery that they would allow. Up until now, what they've been saying is they've given us all they're going to give us. Well, their own Inspector General, their in-house inspector, has gotten about 70,000 more pages than we've gotten. It's pretty clear there's more they could give us so that we could hold people accountable for Brian Terry's death and for lying to the American people.
So at what point will you be satisfied with this investigation? At what point do you say, I've got what I've wanted and we're done here?
There are two things the Speaker of the House said in a letter on May 18, and if those are met, I'll be satisfied. One, who was responsible for a false letter on February 4th that told us that justice didn't let guns walk? Secondly, who are all of the people in the chain of command responsible for Fast and Furious, who knowingly authorized this program or failed to do their job? Those are the only two things we need to know. That's all about accountability.
So the motives behind this controversy of Fast and Furious, what could we explain to our viewers that the motives behind this policy?
Well, I think there were probably multiple motives by different individuals. Some perhaps thought they might get a big win and get promoted by grabbing somebody high up the chain of this cartel. Also, though, sadly, some people have been using this failed operation to justify the assault weapons ban being brought back. So I think you have to look at individuals and figure out whether they were just misguided or whether they were hoping to be opportunist with what ultimately killed Brian Terry.
And this is the only thing that you find yourself at odds with Attorney General Holder on?
Sadly, not so. Certainly the New Black Panthers organization doing voter intimidation, trying to keep people that are dead on the voter rolls in Florida. These sort of things are areas where the Attorney General has a real constitutional obligation, and he's failing.